Give them a proper hello.
Hi, my name is Michael Vess.
And I'm Jessica Kellum. And we're going to talk to you today about how to teach writing to kids with severe disabilities or low incidence disabilities or multiple disabilities. Whoever your most impacted student is, this writing protocol is for them. So.
Great. So we're going to go through, we're going to show you some different ways that students can express their voice and their opinion in different ways of writing. It doesn't look like a traditional type of writing by any means, because a lot of these students are impacted by fine motor skills or lack thereof. So we're going to show you a few examples.
So you want to start with either some type of reading lesson, some mini short lesson, some video, or you can give them a selection of topics. We tend to do our writing at the end of our shared reading, which we will talk about in another video. So we're going to start with the example of the book that we're using right now, Snowmen at Night.
A wonderful tale of snowmen at night.
They do not sleep. It's a trick question. So we'll go through a chunk of the story, and then we will give them some type of open-ended question, which I'm sure you can read that very clearly. We will post it.
For example, our students will do, 4 different prompts over 4 different days, all relating to the books. So for example, our prompt on Monday, we asked the students, how do you think the snowmen feel? So we'll provide them a visual, usually a picture of a snowman, he's probably smiling or something like that. And then that's where we begin.
That snowman looks pretty happy to me. And every student is given their own way to express themselves. A lot of our students have AAC, augmentative and alternative communication devices. Some of our students use keyboards. Some of our students don't have a system yet. So we're going to show you 3 different ways to go about it. The first one, we can do the keyboard. So this was created for students with cortical visual impairments. So as you can see, the letters are very large.
It's called an alternative pencil?
Yep.
Alternative pencil.
So if they don't have the fine motor skills, if they have CP, if they have some kind of other, disability that messes with their fine motor skills, here's what we do. We go through and we'll give the student a switch.
That one. So we'll program the switch, the Big Mac, to say that one or want. The person holding the alternative pencil will present each letter to the student for a consistent amount of time, like 5 to 10 seconds. And then if the student hits the button, we will write the letters right here. And then you'll see what we do from there.
Okay.
So,
snowmen at night. And then we'll do our comprehension questions, and then we'll go back and we'll ask our question. How do you think the snowmen feel? You gotta pick a letter that gives me your opinion, okay? A, B, C.
that one.
Okay, so Michael chose C, and we'll write it down. Again, high contrast for our kids with visual stuff. But you want to make sure that you make meaning of the letter that they choose. So, okay, they're snowmen. The letter is C. You think the snowmen are cold? The snowmen are probably cold. You're definitely right, Michael. Good choice. You want to tell me another word about how you think the snowmen feel? Okay, that might be like a ah, or a this, which means no, which we tend to honor and respect that. Whatever it is, I might keep going because we already did ABC, so I'm going to start at D. E.
That one.
E. The snowmen feel excited. I think the snowmen are probably excited to play with each other. And you want to make sure you're writing out the word that you create for them. Eventually, you want to get them to pairing letters. This marker's not working so good. You probably can't see it that well, but use the marker that works. And then, so eventually you want them to choose more than one letter in the sequence. But for now, our kids are very emergent writers. They just started this protocol. This is new. So we're just trying to get them to engage and understand that their words, the letters they choose are part of words, and the words they choose have meaning. So start with one letter. Once they get it, you can add two. So it might eventually be CE, and then you're going to get a little trickier with making meaning out of that. But that's example one.
Yep. You just want to make sure, show them every single letter, and it might take a long time to get through the entire thing, but just giving them the options to choose is valuable on its own.
And if you have kids that can't touch a switch, there are adapters that you can use, like for their wheelchairs or for their chins, whatever it is. We have one girl who just kind of shakes her leg when she gets excited about a letter. That's the meaning we choose for her right now. So that's one way. The next, you want to be the teacher and I'll be the kid for this one?
Sure thing.
Okay, so this is Go Talk Now. It's a very basic app on the iPad. You can get free versions, and even on the free versions, there's templates. I don't know if you can see that this is letters. So for kids who might be nonverbal but have more fine motor skills, they also have like bigger versions of this. So you might only present like 4 letters at a time, depending on the kid.
Great. So, okay, Jessica, if you were in the book, what would you do with the snowmen? Go ahead, select some letters.
L.
L. L, would you?
A.
L-A. Are you going to laugh with them? Are you going to laugh? L-A-U-G-H-I-N-G. You going to laugh with them? What else do you want to do with the snowmen?
P.
P?
A.
A?
R.
You want to go to the park?
T.
Party. You want to have a party with the snowman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can have hot chocolate, or is cold hot chocolate in the book?
Cold hot chocolate, because
That's
snowman would melt with
That's
hot
right.
chocolate. So they might only pick one letter. So you might have to come up with a meaning a little bit quicker. Make sure if they are using a system like this that you have a paper to write down the word, so you can show them the word that you created with the letters they chose. And then the last, we could talk about the keyboard option.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have kids who might be visually impaired and probably couldn't see either of these, in which case you could auditorily scan and they could still use the button. Or another thing that we use is the voiceover tool. What do you call that? Assistive, I don't know. Accessibility feature.
Yes.
That's the word. Apple, they rock.
Yep. It's built into the accessibility features in the settings of any iPad, which is great.
Or iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a talking keyboard app, or you can even just do it on like a Google Doc, and you can start typing letters. We use a Bluetooth keyboard. You can use a keyboard on the iPad, but whatever. That way they're getting familiar with like placement and
how that looks is sometimes you'll put some tactile on like the first letter of the home keys, and then just get them familiar with that area, and eventually they can, they'll be able to find F or spell their name on their own, but they can also do a similar activity like we just showed you.
So accessibility, writing for all. We also wanted to shout out our girl, Karen Erikson, who is the main researching homie, speech therapist extraordinaire, AAC guru, who kind of establishes protocol to incorporate writing into literacy, because there's not really much that's been presented as far as options. So Karen's the girl. And anything else? Anything else you want to write?
No, teach all kids how to write, even if you don't think they can. Find a way.
Let's share some cute stories. So one of our students, who is a total teenager and doesn't like to do much, is now 14 and in 8th grade and is just getting her communication device right now. She is all in there, like totally all in there. We had some graduate students coming to work with our kids and did this protocol with her, and she spelled out, or they said, what do you want to do next? And she chose S-T-O P. She didn't want to do it.
She wasn't having it.
So hopefully you will find, oh, and then another good one. Yesterday I said, how do you think the snowmen feel? And then one of our students chose IDK.
I don't know either. They're snowmen.
So I think there's a lot of room to give the power and control back and just make intentionality of there. And then write this down. It's really cute to see what they do over time, and the parents like love these stories, even though they don't often get them. They're like, no, they didn't really do that. It's like, yeah,
Absolutely.
they did it. So, and try and capture it on video because it's always super cute when they do.
Great.
All right, that's self-selected writing 101. Thanks for joining us.
See you later. See you next time.